like Chris Cuomo, who are the children of extremely powerful establishment families. And so while I don't think that his now wife's name and address and office phone number being in that address book is damning in and of itself, but what it does speak to is how people in powerful circles all go back to Epstein because they all travel together in these efforts to do whatever it is that they're doing. They're all fellow travelers in trying to ensconce themselves in these powerful circles to enhance their own power and to network with each other, basically.
Right. They knew this guy.
Yeah.
He was part of their social circle. She was an editor at basically a gossip paper, and the gossip papers and the New York social scene are obviously very much intertwined, and Epstein was known to try to use them effectively to rise through the social circles of New York City.
The wife of Chris Cuomo in the address book belonging to Jeffrey Epstein certainly looks very bad, and I think this will be yet another example of how our media is so partisan and biased in terms of how this will or will not be covered. Is this a major bombshell? Alone, I would have to say no. All we know is that allegedly the wife of Chris Cuomo's address and information is in some address book that supposedly belonged to Jeffrey Epstein. There's also a lot of other powerful people's names in there, like Donald Trump and others. So if we are to assume that this book is real and it did belong to Jeffrey Epstein, then a likely explanation would be what was just described, which is a sort of media relationship where there's some kind of journalism going on between Epstein and Cuomo's wife. So, for example, she might be interviewing him. He might call her with scoops about different things. Maybe he was like a source for her, right? Because he was running in very sort of elite circles. So as a person running some kind of gossip column, he would be a valuable asset to have. And maybe she was, I don't know how much money he had at that time, but maybe she was getting paid but it doesn't have to even be about money. Like they mentioned, this could be used to sort of launder his reputation, and this could be used to sort of weasel his way through the social scene. So it could be nothing more than that, or there could be more. And if there is, you got to think about Chris Cuomo, a major person in American media, who's already got himself tangled up in the, hey man, what happened to that Governor Cuomo scandal? Oh, right. The Governor Cuomo scandal. Yeah, he already got himself twisted up in that situation, having meetings apparently to help him to wiggle his way out of that. And I guess maybe it worked because no one's really talking about it, not even right-wing media that I can see. But you got that scandal going on. And now his wife, and there's also there's a COVID thing as well, him lying about some stuff. I forgot what he did, but he was definitely sort of monetizing his COVID experience. I think he did some fake thing where he pretended like this was his first time leaving the house or something like that, and he got called on it. But if this is legit, you have the brother of a governor with a wife that was 1 degree separated from Jeffrey Epstein, who's connected to Bill Gates, Clinton, Trump, and who else? Who else was Epstein connected to that potentially led to his demise in prison, right? And will we ever get the full story on that? Not with our broken media, right? That only cover what goes with their narrative. So pay attention and see if this gets any coverage in left-wing media. So the argument would be, we don't know. There's a lot of unknowns about this, right? Is the book legitimate? What was the nature of the relationship between Cuomo's wife? But that's how journalism works. How many stories have they reported on without knowing the full deal, right? You investigate, right? You want to know what the relationship was. You interview Cuomo's wife. You interview her friends and associates the same way you normally would, right? You dig and you dig and you dig and you build your story. And you present the story as accurately as possible, as objectively as possible, right? We looked into this. We couldn't confirm anything beyond it looks like there was some kind of media relationship going on. There's rumors out there. People are saying X, Y, and Z, but we can't confirm it. We think that those rumors don't make sense, or they could make sense, but we can't confirm them, so we can't report that that's a fact or not. All we can say is that this is what we're hearing. This is what people are saying, right? But this is what we're able to confirm. Definitely had a relationship, was seen, blah, blah, blah. The wife is claiming that she did, right? You can report on it. Something like this, I would expect the right-wing media to jump on board with, right? It's a vector to attack the left. So why not cover it, left-wing media, so that people can know or have a good source of information about what happened? You know, folks on the right will run with this. They'll say speculation as if it's fact. Not that the left doesn't do that as well. They will bad faith actor this thing to death. So wouldn't it be nice if left-wing media actually did their job and reported on this as aggressively as they would if this was a scandal about Trump, so that you can counter whatever nonsense the right might do? And the right might have a legitimate take on it. It's not like they never have a legitimate take. It's rare, right? It's like their whole business model is to troll the left. So it's rare that they actually have a solid take on things. They'll make good points, right? There'll be a good point within nonsense. It's like they will sell you a dozen eggs. Half of them or more are cracked. But there's some good ones in there. Some fresh, farm-raised, it's not all trash. Man, there's a lot of cracked shells and it's a mess. But if you toss out the cracked and rotten eggs, there's a few you can make some omelets with safely. Wouldn't it be nice if left-wing media and right-wing media just reported on everything? Not just the things that support their narrative? So regardless of who something may make look bad, you report on it. Wouldn't that be an interesting idea? Also, have you noticed the reluctance to cover a lot of stories about Epstein? And this is not just left-wing media. I haven't seen a lot of Epstein coverage in left-wing or right-wing media. Kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? How deep does this rabbit hole actually go?